I've been kind of busy with other projects. That's why it's taking a little bit of time for me to put out another video. I made a cedar garbage can like in one of my previous videos, and I had some cedar leftovers, and I got to thinking maybe I can make something with this, and I think I have the tools and the skills to actually make boxes for tools like vernier calipers and stuff like that, or micrometers, right? A little box with a cover on it and everything. I don't think I'm going to splurge on hinges. It's just going to be like a full a cover that you can put on and remove, right? This is one of my ideas that might become reality. I'm not sure yet, right? Like one of my previous videos where I made a coffee table out of birch, okay? I was thinking maybe if I made it so that I could actually play checkers and chess, all I have to do is do the checkerboard on it, right? Okay, but that's not the idea for today. And today is so I want to make a toolbox. Okay, I'm just going to draw it quickly so you get the idea. Okay, so that line would be invisible. So this one. I can't see properly at this angle, that's why something might look a little not right. Okay, so what you actually see here, it's two boxes in one, right? This is the outer box, okay, and what you see here with the curvature on it, that's going to be the channel in which the other box slides onto, so it doesn't, so that way I don't need hinges, right? Gravity just keeps the lid on it, it doesn't slide off. Okay, and the lid is just going to be the other section of the box. Now, I was also thinking doing a 45. See? And then you take a saw cut into it and you replace this with a wedge. You insert, like if this is cedar, I'm going to make those out of birch and stick the wedge in there and glue it. So that way all I have to do is take the bandsaw, slice off the corners, right? Because if you look on top, it would look something like this. Okay, and there you would have your wedge of birch. So you'd have two wedges in the corner, and this would help actually, it would give it more strength. Have you ever heard the glue let go in the miter? This wedge will not. So all you do is, after that, you take your bandsaw and you take a slice that way, and then you take a slice that way. That way you knock off both of the tangs from the wedges, and then you just sand this flush. Okay, so it's not quarter sawn, but when I take my pieces, I'm going to rip this down the middle. I have quarter sawn both sides. I lucked out, I guess. If you can see, that's going to be a piece, that's going to be a piece, cut out the knot, that's going to be a piece, that's going to be a piece, and that's how this thing's going to work out. I'm going to run this through the jointer, flat surface, do the same thing on this side, and then I'm going to split this down the middle in the bandsaw. Okay, so that's the plan for now. Yeah, it's 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna cut a channel on either side of this, and it's gonna be there to accept the bottom. Okay, the top cover I'm gonna just nail it or glue it to the oh, this is for the toolbox for the vernier calipers and micrometers, in case somehow my footage gets mixed up. Okay. The guide here, or the plate for the saw, where the saw is, the channel, I'm weary of when you're dealing with too narrow of a strip or something, it might get sucked down into the saw, right? Sometimes you have to make your own, I'm not sure what you call this piece here, but you have to make it like out of lumber and just take one saw cut width out of it, so that way nothing gets sucked down into the saw. Okay. I'm going to see how this works out there. Okay, and it is 6. This, from the side, will look something like that, so I can actually right, so from here to here is what I'm measuring right now. I'm going to try to make it one and a half inches, okay, and this section okay, this is 1/4, this is 1/4. So if I got a quarter, half inch, this is 1 inch. And like I said, the tool would fit in the 1 inch box. Okay. And the cover, this is and this is top. Okay, this is quarter-inch plywood, and this is 1 inch cedar. So my plywood is underneath 1/4 of an inch, so I'm fine if I make it under 1/4. And it just happens to be oak quarter, something I had lying around. So I'm just going to double on the width, and that's going to be the slot for that bottom piece. Gauge 3/16 of an inch.
to measure how long the piece should be. Okay, so if I put that there, they should be all similar pieces. I want it 6-inch diameter inside, so I'm going to check to see if that's what I'm getting. I get 6 1/8. I get 6 1/8. I have to figure out how to get around that, but I'm going to go with it because it doesn't matter. But if I was making something for dimensions, it would matter. So here, wait a minute. Now I have to come down a bit on that. So, I hope I did get it right. Here, that should fit. Come over by 1/8. And take a blade width. Yep, that's it. I got a 1/16 of an inch on either side, so that should be good. So I gotta make copies of this, 4 copies of this actually. I want to make sure I got a sharp cut on this. I don't want to stuff to come out the other side. Like, see? I'm sure this matters, so make sure I touch off on something. Square to it. So I'm going to use this as a template. And that way, I'll get 4 identical pieces in it. So I cut, that's my pattern. That's not good. I gotta cut another piece off of this one. Alright, I don't know how to glue this. Okay.
I could use brads. Brads in the corner and tack it with some glue, but that's not much of a finish. You see pinholes, and you see, I'm going to try to make 245s that clamp in such a fashion, but they can't be permitted to sway around like this. So if I had 2 channels here with a channel in the middle, and when I clamp down on it, it wouldn't permit this to happen. Maybe that'll work. Well, I've tried to glue some corners with the jig I made, and I'm sort of lucky because it's sort of tighter than I wanted, but it's just enough pressure to keep everything clamped up, so I don't have to put wedges here with a Bessie clamp, right? That's what was my first intention, but it seems to be holding. And if you're gluing something in such a jig, you don't want to glue your piece to the jig. So I put newspaper there, and whatever is left over later on, I just have to sand it off, right? I bought some felt. I don't know if you guys have dollar stores in the States, but we have Dollarama, right? And I bought some felt. I wanted green, but they only had blue. So, or it's a bluish purple, blue. That's going to go on the bottom here to prevent any roughing up of the tool and give it friction so it doesn't bounce around in there. And over here I had glued pieces previously, but I forgot the fact that to run it through the planer I need at least 12 inches. If not, it'll suck the piece of lumber up into the cutter. So I had to glue something else. As soon as this one's glued up, this is the sides. These go inside here since they're taller. That's my guide from the cover.
Now, I thought I'd show you the jig for those of you who would like to actually put a piece here. If I do, I'm going to put a piece of hardwood, like birch, so it sort of matches the same color. But you have to take out a blade width at 45 to one of these surfaces, right? Like that. And you don't want to cut into this piece. So you need a stop. You need a certain blade height to get that 45. At a certain blade height, you get 45 here, like this. Okay? And I don't want to play with my fingers in there, so I made myself a jig board. Okay? Then since this is 1.5 inches, I put 3/4 of an inch here. So I just hold it up tight against the fence. And then I feed it in till I've bottomed out. And at the point that I bottomed out, if you can look closely, there's a 45 there, okay? I'll bring you up for a close-up. Okay, so my camera lens is dirty. There's about a 45 there. That's about a 45 right there. So I've just finished making my saw cut. Okay. Now all I need to do is get me some birch that will actually be the same width. So here I just ripped myself some corners, right? They should fit in there. If you look at it from, see what I mean? Okay. So now I'm gonna cut these up into smaller pieces, 4 small pieces, and whittle them down or sand them down till they fit in those corners, and add some glue.